You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Friday the 28th of March 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And I've been incredibly productive today, just not writing. And that's fine. You've seen how much I've achieved this month. You know, not only did I write and sign off the final chapter of Empress of the Trees, I've gone through the fifth draft of Still Life, or written and done the fifth draft of Still Life. A couple of minor bits of work to do on that. And after the silly incident the other night where I edited tired, I just thought, no, don't force yourself to do it when you're not in the right mood or the right place or whatever. And I'm not, and that's fine actually. I'm not upset about it. It is what it is. I would rather write when I'm in the right mood and do something worthwhile and creative than force myself to do something and end up not happy with the results, especially when, you know, I'm talking about looking at the final draft of something that's taken me so long to write. So yes, no writing today, but I'm not irritated with myself because I have been quite productive. You may remember a little while ago now, I decided to redecorate my bathroom, and then you may remember I had a leak, and that put me off doing the bathroom, and so it's been sitting there for about 2 weeks in an unfinished state. And yesterday, when I got home from my flight 2 days ago, the one thing I did manage to get done that evening was one coat of paint on the ceiling. And then yesterday, the one thing I achieved yesterday was to do the second coat of paint on the ceiling. Now, most of what was left to do was simple. Now, there is still a couple of little jobs to do. I need to do some effectively tidying up of some paint marks and bits and pieces, which is an easy job. I just need to get round to it. And I also need to paint the skirting boards, architraves and door, but that I never bought that. I kind of forgot I needed to do that, so that was never my original plan. I never bought the stuff for that. So what I did today was I took everything out of there that didn't need to be in there, which is all the decorating-y stuff. I put up the cupboard because I'd taken down the old kind of vanity cupboard, but never put the new one up. So I did that today. And then a large number of years ago, possibly as many as 10, I asked my mum for my birthday. She had a nice little shelf in her bathroom, high up, with just lots of knick-knacky, interesting bits and pieces on it, like shells and Canadian, what's it called? Those statues they sort of make out of stone, sort of shaped like a man. I've forgotten what they're called. Anyway, one of those. Anyway, and this little shelf, she bought me a little shelf and the little bits and pieces to go on it. And then I never put them up. So because I had the drills and everything up and ready to go today, I put the vanity cupboard up. I moved everything into the vanity cupboard that needed to be in there. There was an awful lot of stuff that was in the previous vanity cupboard that I just didn't need. So that got thrown away. I put up the little shelf. I put little things on the little shelf. And yeah, it's now a functioning bathroom again. I can actually close the blinds because there's not stuff all over the windowsill. So yeah, I achieved that today. And if I'm going to be totally honest, that was the main thing I achieved today. I haven't done a huge amount else because my jet lag, I think I really need to start listening to my body. And when I'm planning to drive home and sleep, I need to do that, because I think if I'd done that, I don't think I'd have been quite so unproductive yesterday and today, because my sleeping's all over the place. I had a doze in the afternoon, so I didn't sleep very well last night. I was up till 4 a.m. yesterday. I kind of tried to go to bed, then realised it wasn't happening, so I came down and thought, I want to watch something, but I don't know what. And I was flicking through an app called Plex, and they actually have some free movies on there. And I found a movie called Spiders on a Plane, which is obviously a rip-off of Snakes on a Plane, but with a lot less money. And for some reason, they seem to shoot it on 2 aeroplanes as well. So it's set on what looks on the exterior like a wide-body 747, but most of the cabin scenes with people in them, there's ones where they're wandering around looking for spiders, which are set on a 747. It's got the appropriate, size width and everything. But then the last bits, the kind of the scenes with most of the crew and the passengers are filmed on a 737, a thin aircraft. It's so obviously not the same plane. It's absolutely ridiculous. The spider effects were terrible. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a B movie. It's probably a R movie or something. It's just absolute drivel. And it turns out it's by the same studio and group of people that made, a couple of years ago, they made a notorious film called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It was basically a horror film about Winnie the Pooh, and it was shit. And I think it was deliberately awful. I can't imagine they made a film as appalling as that. Maybe it was just called Blood and Honey, I can't remember. But they did a sequel as well, which I haven't seen. I only watched the first one because I didn't have to pay for it, and it was something to do. A friend of mine had it to watch on their hard drive, so we kind of watched it, and it was piss poor. Anyway, so will I do any writing tomorrow? I don't know. I'm not going to put pressure on myself to do it because I'm clearly not in the right mood, and I'm not unhappy with what I've achieved this month. And if it means I start next month with my short story instead of ending this month on it, so be it. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.